Good evening, everybody. This is Dr. Thyroid. Today, I wanted to talk about a topic that, for some reason, lately, a lot of people ask me about, is about thyroid. Okay, there's no question about it. The last several years, I've seen an increase in thyroid issues, and I think we are facing a pandemic of thyroid problems. I see a lot more Hashimoto's. I see a lot of hypothyroidism. I see a lot of hyperthyroidism. I see all kinds of issues related to the thyroid. Medical doctors have not much option when it comes to thyroid. Is you give them medications which actually suppress the thyroid function, or they remove the thyroid. I had a patient today, so they didn't know what to do with the thyroid. They knew there was something wrong with it. They took it out, and now she's on thyroid medication for the rest of her life. So the problem is they never address the root cause. And this is what I want to cover a little bit tonight, is why are people dealing with thyroid issues and what to do about it. First of all, to me, medication is a Band-Aid, because when you start taking medication, for example, a thyroid medication like Thyroid or levothyroxine, so it's T4. So your body, when you provide your body with T4, your body doesn't have to make T4 anymore. So the production of T4 goes down, and now you become dependent on your medication. And this is the vicious cycle that I see a lot of people stuck in, is they start taking medication with a low dose. And then as they get older, they increase and they increase, and they take more and more and more. And then they become dependent on the thyroid medication. And then the thyroid function is suppressed. It doesn't work anymore, and which affects the whole hormonal system, because your thyroid talks to your adrenals, it talks to your pituitary gland, it talks to your hypothalamus, it talks to your liver, and so on and so on. So everything is connected. So when your thyroid function is off, it has a lot of consequences. Okay, and one thing that I hear a lot is people come to me, oh, my thyroid panel is fine, my labs are all fine, but I'm still dealing with thyroid problems. There's a reason for that. First of all, blood work is not quite specific to determine if your thyroid is working or not. It may be within the range, but the range is so broad that a lot of people are being misdiagnosed by medical doctors. So they believe if your thyroid is within that range, you're fine. But when you think about what is the range, how did they come up with the range? So the range came up by the labs that perform those tests. So what they do is they take the average of all those people who've come to them, and the average the labs for thyroid, for example, and they came up with a range. But when you think about it, those labs are for people who are sick. Typically, you go see your doctor when you have issues. So the labs give you a range of sick people. It's not for optimal people. People are healthy. So the range for optimum function of thyroid is much narrower. Okay. So for example, the TSH, typically they will tell you if you're within 0.5 and 4.5, you're within the range, you're fine. But the optimum range for TSH is 1.8 and 3. So if you are not within that range, I see your thyroid as not working optimally. So there's something going on. Okay. So the range is one issue. The blood work is not specific enough. It doesn't give you the nutritional status of the thyroid function. Okay. Because over time, what happens is the thyroid becomes off or worse because your nutrition is off. So they don't look at toxins affecting the thyroid. For example, the most common toxin that I see is chlorine and fluoride from water, for example. The thyroid is a known magnet for those two elements. So if you drink chlorine or fluoride, so these two chemicals will get right into your thyroid, causing thyroid dysfunction. So blood work don't look at that. They don't look at the nutritional status of your thyroid, or if your thyroid is toxic. Most people walking right now in this country have thyroid problems. They're toxic. We need to detox the thyroid of chlorine, fluoride, pesticides, who knows what else, mercury, aluminum, arsenic, so on and so on. So we need to detox your thyroid, because if you have chlorine stuck in thyroid and you take iodine, which is something I see all the time. I see people taking iodine, selenium, magnesium, potassium, zinc, and they still have deficiencies in the thyroid. It's because the chlorine or the iodine or the pesticides or whatever toxins are in the thyroid blocks the absorption of those minerals and vitamins. So you have these competitions between chlorine, for example, and iodine, or fluoride and iodine, or bromide and iodine. So you can take vitamins or minerals, but you don't absorb it. And lastly, the main thing that I see when the TSH is fine, but there's still thyroid symptoms, or people are still complaining of thyroid problems, even though the TSH looks good, is coming from the adrenals. Okay, the adrenals make the stress hormone, the cortisol. And when your stress is high, it blocks the conversion of T4 into T3. You know, your body, your thyroid, I should say, makes T4. And different organs like your thyroid, your liver, your muscles, your brain convert T4 into T3. And T3 is the bioactive hormone that your body needs in order for the thyroid to perform its functions. So if the conversion, most doctors look at TSH, sometimes they look at T4, and T4 would be fine, but they never look at T3 or reverse T3. So if your stress hormone is high, your cortisol is high, it blocks the conversion of T4 into T3. So they are missing the T3 component of it. So we need to address the adrenals. And this is the key factor when it comes to thyroid health. It's not necessarily the thyroid. 90% of the time, when I say thyroid problem, it's coming from the adrenals. Support your adrenals with good nutrition, good diet. Remove the junk food, the processed food, the vegetable fat, the sugar, trans fat. Eat good quality foods, and then you can use some vitamin B, some ashwagandha, rhodiola, some herbs to support your adrenals, which allows your stress hormone to go down, which allows your body to make T3, and then people start feeling better. It's as simple as that, actually. Medical doctors miss a lot or misdiagnose a lot of thyroid conditions. And I see that regularly with people is thyroid may be okay, but we need to look at the nutritional status of your thyroid and more importantly, how good the adrenals are. And people today are exhausted, they're burned out, they're stressed out, they're overwhelmed. There's so much going on. And the adrenals are not happy. The adrenals are stressed. They are exhausted. So this adrenal fatigue symptom can lead to hypothyroidism. Okay, so we need to address the adrenals, support the adrenals in order to reverse thyroid issues. And when we do that, you may not need thyroid medications because initially the problem was not your thyroid. Your thyroid labs were symptoms of adrenal fatigue or adrenal burnout. So if you have any questions, please let me know. That's what I wanted to talk about tonight, this missing piece when it comes to thyroid and adrenal. And when we do that, things are just getting better. So thank you for watching tonight. God bless you all.